I don't know about y'all, but myself, I love hiking. I mean, I've been in the scouts, I'm an Eagle Scout, hiking all the time. I'm actually, at the time of this video, set to go hiking this next coming weekend to go to Table Rock State Park in South Carolina. And I found whenever I'm up there, I've always had watches that either they weren't waterproof or they were cheap. I got them from Walmart and they'd break on me. And I've always wanted something that maybe had a little bit more, I don't want to say class, but functionality, different abilities I could use it for, and would provide me with that, just giving me useful information. So this review is going to be on the Casio Pro Trek. Now, this watch, for those of you who are interested, the actual item number is going to be PRG 300 1A9CR. And this is an ABC watch. So for those of you who don't know, that's an altimeter, barometer, compass. And you can see the three functions right here. Just looking at the watch right off the bat, you see it's pretty lightweight. I think it only weighs 2.4 ounces, if I'm correct on that. You can see there's Pro Trek on the back, and it's got these nice bands, just a single clasp fastener. I found that it stays pretty well. Let's go ahead and go into some of the features. So like I said, altimeter, barometer, compass. So here we are on the home screen. You can see it's kind of chamfered in, which is nice. And basically from right here, you have an easy display. You can get time. I have it set on military time. And there's seconds right there. And then you can see the date up at the top. And that's easily adjustable there, just giving you the information that you want. If I hit this button once, top, there you see we go March 11th instead of Saturday. We hit it again, and you can see this kind of like a little snaking graph. And what that actually is part of the barometer function. So, as it rises, that means temperature is getting better. And as it goes down, that means temperature is worsening. Weather is worsening. My mistake. And, that's pretty handy. If you're looking, you want to get a general reading over the past several hours, and, that readjusts every 2 hours. So I like that. And that's just right at the home screen. But if you want to go to actual different functions, you can see they're right here on the side, these three little buttons which have a little bit of texturing, let you grab it a little bit easier, and I like that about it. So let's go to compass, and we can see here, you try to hold that as flat as you can, and north will be represented by these three dots, and then south, east, and west are represented by these other dots, and you can see at the top it tells you which direction you're facing, the watch this little arrow is facing. So that's east, southeast right there. It'll tell you the degree, and then also that you can see the time is still down there. If we hit the barometer, we can go here, and there again is that little graph. There's barometric pressure, and then down here you can see the temperature. Now, I found the temperature is usually off unless you leave it off your wrist, because while it's on there, you're 98.6, right? So it's going to be heating up, and it may only be 60 degrees outside, but it's going to be telling me 80 or something just because it's been on my wrist. So I haven't really found that to be very useful. But the compass and barometer have been very useful. It's been usually correct. It's saying the weather's pretty good, and looking outside right now, I definitely say that is the case. So let's go to the altimeter. Now this is the one piece of the watch, another piece of the watch that I've found that just does not work at all. It says it's 350 feet, but we're actually at sea level here. So that doesn't really bode well for the altimeter. And I've been trying to figure it out. I set latitude and longitude and all that, but it's still saying 350 feet. So that's just something you're going to have to be aware of, and you may have to deal with. Now, if you want to go back to the home screen, all you got to do is press this button right here. And there we go, we're back. And you can adjust it again, back to Saturday, whatnot. Now, if you set your latitude and longitude, this is really nice. You can go right here, and it'll tell you sunrise and sunset for the day, which is pretty cool, and for that day. So there's the date up top. Now, if you want to keep going through the modes, You can start pressing, record, there's your stopwatch, timer, alarms, world time, London. And what's cool about when you set your time, in the adjust mode, it's standard Casio operation. But what's cool is most watches you can only go forward. So if you miss it, then your city, then you have to go all the way back around the world. But with the Pro Trek, you can actually go backwards just by pressing this button up here, which is pretty cool. As you can see, this is a negative display, so that's why I'm trying to hold it up close to the camera so y'all can get a good picture of it. I found that sometimes it is kind of hard to see, but all you gotta do is press this illumination right here, and doesn't really make much of a difference right now in the daytime, but makes it a lot easier to see. And at nighttime, it's very readable. It's very legible. Now, some of the other Pro Trek models do have a positive display, so that may be better suited for y'all if you like that, or if your eyes have a little bit of trouble. Now, as the watch came, you see you have these two little openings in the band right here and right here. These little flanges were there. I have two of these, and they would come up underneath the watch, and they rested like right here. The thing was that while they were in there, I'm a hairy guy, right? So they'd catch my arm hair and start pulling it out. And also, it wasn't just that. It was that I also didn't really like the yellow being there. I think it looks a lot better, a lot cleaner without it. And you can get black ones, or I guess I could have just painted these, but I figured just take them out. And it looks fine. Still, retention on the band is excellent, and hasn't really affected the functionality, just made it look better for me. Your mileage may vary. And I think something that I did not mention yet, which is very important, is that this is a solar-powered watch. So this little ring right around the face, you see that? Is actually a solar cell. So what Casio says is that on a full charge, it'll go 7 or 8 months. And you can actually see a little H at the very bottom there? That means it's on high charge. So it'll go to M once you're on medium, and then L once you're on low. And some functions won't be available once you get down that far in the charge. But all you gotta do is stick it in bright sunlight or underneath a fluorescent light, and it'll charge back up, and you'll be good to go. Obviously, setting it in the sun is the best way to get it charged up quick. But I like this watch overall. I mean, easy to use. It feels good when you're wearing it. It looks nice. It's a very clean looking watch. There's not a bunch going on the face, so I can know exactly what I need to know when I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, there's the time, there's the seconds, there's the date. Just general information. Now, what I did want to say is, so when you're using this hiking, since the altimeter doesn't really work and you're going to have some trouble with the thermometer, you may want to bring something else. I mean, obviously your phone can do that, but if you want a different, just a dedicated utensil for it, you may want to go steer clear, go for a different watch. I've only tested this one. Maybe it's just a fluke for this one, but from what I've seen and what I've read online, it seems like it's pretty general across the entire Pro Trek line for it to be like that. Now, using this for hiking, I definitely will be. I have used it already, and it's worked out great for me. The compass is pretty much always on, and that barometer function, especially when you have it set for that little graph right there, is really helpful, and usually matches what's going on. It can give you an alert if barometric pressure's dropping before the storm's even come about. So you need to get your rain gear on, you need to get tent set up, that kind of thing, which is pretty cool. Now value. So I see a lot of these around. I was just scrolling through Amazon for mid to high $100 range. So like $150 to $180, but all the way up into the $200s as well. So pretty expensive for me. I know some of y'all don't mind dropping that much on a watch, but for me that's a lot to spend. Fortunately, I actually found this watch on Amazon, and I think it was because of the yellow. Maybe people just don't like the yellow, but you take those bands off, and I think the face looks pretty good. Those little yellow accents. Found it for only $93. It's pretty cool, right? $150 watch, just like this, just with blue accents. It's $150, just like I said. So that's pretty cool. Right now it's running 108 at the time of posting this video. So I totally recommend if you want to get it. Maybe you buy it now, or if you want to wait and see if it goes back down, you know, $20 less, go ahead. But this is a pretty cool watch. I'm going to have to say, definitely recommend it. Probably give it an 8 out of 10, just because of the two things I mentioned, that the altimeter and the thermometer don't work. It's kind of annoying. I mean, the thermometer does work, but like I said, if it's on your wrist, it's not going to be accurate. So that's just something to take into account. But like this watch, if y'all want it, definitely get it. I'll post a link in the description, and hope y'all have a great rest of the day.